I live 4,887 miles roughly from Providence Park. So why do I support the Timbers? So welcome back, new and returning viewers, to something a little bit different today. Now, as the MLS is on a 2-week break for the Gold Cup, I thought I'd answer a question that I've been getting quite a lot recently. So a couple of you guys on Reddit and in the comments below have been asking me why I support the Timbers and how my love for the Timbers really came about, considering I live in Cambridge in the UK and exactly 4,887 miles from Providence Park. So the story behind me following the Timbers is a pretty weird but interesting one. So it began back in late 2014 in December, when the MLS Cup final was on between LA Galaxy and New England Revolution. So I saw that it was going to be broadcasted on TV here, as you know, it's the big final of the MLS, the last game of the season, and I didn't really have an MLS team. I didn't think much of the league, didn't really know much about it, and at the time I was personally playing, I was 13, 14 years old, playing football for a team called Chesterton Eagles, and I followed the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. So I thought, I wonder if Philadelphia have a team in the MLS, and it turned out they have the Philadelphia Union. You know, not the best team, but I thought, I'd check them out and see how they did this season. And for some reason, I just went to their opener game of the 2014 season, and that was at Providence Park against Portland. So that season opener was on March 8th, 2014, you know, back in the start of the season, now we're at the end of it. And I sat down and watched these highlights, and I couldn't believe the atmosphere that was being created in Providence Park, and I really didn't know much about Portland itself, you know, never really come across it at all. So I was sitting there watching it, you know, didn't think much of it. It was a bit of a cagey game between both teams. They had a few chances each, wasn't really going in. Both teams hit the woodwork, but then Philadelphia Union took the lead. So then I thought, oh wow, this will be interesting to see how Portland do, you know, will the atmosphere still be there? Because here in England, when a team normally concedes a goal, the home atmosphere, especially if you concede it as the home team, home atmosphere kind of goes quiet, you know, for a couple of minutes or until the team gets another chance. But the Timbers army behind the goal just kept on singing throughout the game. You know, I really didn't think that this atmosphere was even created in the MLS. So the game went on and Portland were missing their chances, and it looked like Philadelphia were definitely going to get the win. But then, in the 94th minute, the goal poacher, Gaston Fernandez, a player that I really miss seeing in a Portland shirt, came up with the goods and scored. And I remember actually seeing the highlights. Root Sports kind of missed the goal. They were, I think, showing a replay and it was transitioning back and they missed it. But I just remember the commentator going crazy, and he ran towards the Timbers army. All of the bench came running up and all the fans just going mental, the smoke going off, the chainsaw, and I was like, wow, this is insane. And the Philadelphia Union didn't get to see you at home, but I was just, you know, drawn to the Timbers army and Providence Park. It was just unbelievable seeing that, and ever since I've followed the Timbers. So yeah, that's kind of the basic story as to why I follow the Timbers. But then, you know, as I've done more research about Portland and about the club, you know, it goes way further back to 1975, and if you haven't read the book, it's a great read. It tells you all about the history of the club, its founding, its refounding, its joining of the MLS and all that sort of stuff, and you know how the club really helps with the community. Not saying that other MLS clubs don't do the same, but I just saw that as a bonus as well, alongside the football that Portland play in the stadium, the whole city. I've never been myself, would love to go one day, and I love the Timbers. So as time went on during the off season, I thought I need to start getting myself some Timbers gear, and I think I remember that scarf just there, not the Cambridge one, just that one. I remember that was my first bit of Portland stuff that I bought. I can't remember, I bought it for like £8 here, which is only like $5, which is ridiculously cheap. And then I started buying shirts. Timbers Army one was a great find, and then that hat there was actually from a neighbour who has family in Portland, quite interestingly. It's a small world really, and he brought back a cap. I'm not going to put it on because it looks embarrassing on me. But yeah, I started to buy this stuff, and I remember I went into PE at school, into physical education classes, wearing Portland Timbers shirts, and everyone was like, what team is that? And then, you know, started to get the MLS around. I remember getting some friends actually to start following them as well, so I wasn't the only guy waking up at 3 AM and watching the games. So I'm now going to spend the rest of the video talking a little bit about myself, where I live and things like that. So if you just come here for the Portland story, switch off now and leave a like before you go. So as some of you guys have been able to spot, back there is a Cambridge United scarf, and yeah, it kind of gives a hint. I've been saying it, I live in Cambridge, the university capital of the UK. I think we're in the top 5 universities. But yeah, I am 18 years old myself, and I get a question, do I play football? Yeah, I do play football. I was getting to a very good standard about 2 years ago. When I was turning 17, I started to play semi-professional here in the, I can't remember, I think the 8th or 9th tier for a team called Cambridge City. But then I basically got an injury. I kept on getting groin strains, and then my hip was causing me pain. Went for an x-ray and saw that I had a hip impingement and like a labral tear. So I basically had surgery 5 weeks ago to repair that. And I've had all this time on my hands, so I thought, why not do something I love and start talking about the Timbers in front of the camera, you know, share it with you guys, see if you enjoy it, and go from there. And the support I've had is fantastic. I mean, to already get 70 subscribers and all the likes on the video, it really means a lot. And yeah, it keeps me motivated to make more. I've also been asked whether I have a Premier League team. Now, I used to be an avid supporter of Manchester United during the Fergie era, and it was kind of as Wayne Rooney broke through that I really started to support them. I saw myself as a player like him. I kind of looked like him when I was a kid, a shaved head. Did really look like him. I've got a photo of above my bed over there. But yeah, I was a big Man U fan, but kind of grew out of them when they sacked Moyes. I thought it was really unjust, and you know, my love kind of stopped. And I really, at that time, my early teenage years, I'd moved on to Cambridge United, my local team. Had a season ticket there for a couple of years. Went to every game, been to a couple of away games. Really loved the club. Forever will. And then also started supporting the Timbers. So I'm kind of a neutral when it comes to Premier League. When I see a game on, I just love to see goals and an interesting game, something that's entertaining. So I mentioned that I have all this time because of the surgery that I've just had on my hip. I also got time because I'm currently going into what's known as a gap year here in the UK. So when you finish sixth form, which would be high school in the States, you can choose to have basically a year off. I didn't really choose to have it off. I've kind of had to have it off because of the injury. But I actually plan to go to the States on a football scholarship or a soccer scholarship, athletic one, whatever you want to call it, to a college and spend 4 years out there studying for a degree whilst playing soccer. Hopefully at Division 1 side, you know, you never know, following the Dom Dwyer pathway. I mean, he was only growing up actually an hour away from me in a town called Kings Lynn. And then obviously he made his switch to the university in the US and got drafted. So hopefully, who knows, I can emulate that. But if any of you viewers know a college coach, then put him in contact with me, get him to watch the videos. And actually, if you want to see me playing football, I've got another channel. I'll link it below. It's called Tommy Horton, ! And it's actually got a 2-3 minute highlight video of me playing. So if you're wondering if I'm any good or not, if I'm just chatting rubbish. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. So hopefully this video hasn't been too long and I haven't bored you with my voice and talking about myself. I just thought I'd get out here and let you guys know who the guy behind the camera is. And the next few days I plan on uploading another video which you guys have kind of been asking me to do, is what's the view of the MLS here in the UK? A lot of people here think it's just a retirement league, the standard's rubbish and stuff like that, so I'll delve a little bit deeper into the MLS and how people think or perceive about it here in the UK. As always, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, leave a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below if you have any video ideas of yourself and what I should do. Lastly, feel free to subscribe, always keeps me motivated and keeps you guys up to date with the videos that I release. But I will see you in the next one.